Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a great day. I'm gonna have a good day. I'm a little sleepy, not gonna lie.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be, yeah. I might bumble a little bit more than normal, but it's okay. So
Let's go!
hello everybody, welcome to the Game Room. I'm your host today, Michael McLeod. Joining me today, Dwight Robinson.
What's going on?
What's going on? No Jonathan this week. We really wanted him for his valuable input on this Destiny 2 themed episode, a game which he has never played. But in his place. I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourself because I don't know how you want to introduce how you want to be introduced. I should have asked that. Didn't really think of that ahead of time. Go ahead, somebody. I don't know.
Good job.
All right, I guess I'll go. I'm Sabrina. I play Destiny.
And our other guest.
Hi, I'm Chris. I've been playing Destiny 2 since the Destiny beta, so I have just a little bit of playtime.
A little
Destiny.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at your MorningstarZero. That you very impressive. You have the same like tag for everything. It's rare to see that. I have that too, and it's a point of pride for me. It's just like I have no numbers. It's just my just the name straight down. So what do you guys play? I mean, I see you on Destiny all the time, Sabrina specifically, but I mean, what do you play? What have you been playing anything else recently that you just got to tell the world about that's exciting or anything? I don't know.
I've finally gotten the multiplayer Baldur's Gate 3 going, so
okay.
Yeah. Figuring out exactly how all that goes is interesting, especially when you're not playing with someone who is physically in the same space as you. So
Dwight had somebody actually doing that. Were you still doing that, or did you just give up? Did you move on?
Actually getting back on right now. Well, we
don't do it right now. We're recording a show.
No. Well, I started.
It's like every other D&D campaign. Like take a break for a really, really long time and finally get back into it.
Yeah. I bought it years ago and was finally, one of my friends was like, "Hey, you ever played Baldur's Gate 3?" I'm like, I think I bought it like a while ago. I never did start it up. He's like, "All right, screw it, let's do it. Let's start it." I'm like, "All right,
screw it, let's do it." Good words to live by. All right. It's one of those games. Like I even bought the physical copy of it, and it's like I'm really hyped for it, and I played it for a little while, and then I'm just like, I got some other stuff to do, and I'll play it when I got time. When am I gonna have time? I'm just gonna have to force myself to do it eventually, because it's not gonna happen otherwise. And I mean, I probably put like 20 hours into it, but anybody that's played it knows 20 hours is nothing really for that sort of game. So
it's great, but it's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, that's the same problem I have with Xenoblade. It's just like, I wanna do it, but when? I don't know. When I'm dead, I guess. That's the only time it's gonna happen. Should we call you MorningstarZero? How would you like to be addressed?
I could just call me Chris. It's good.
Chris. All right, we'll just call you Chris. MorningstarZero is a little bit much anyway. So Chris it is.
The Baldur's Gate 3 thing, I've been playing with Sabrina a bit.
Well, there we go.
During when things were kind of drawn out with Renegades, when Shadows and Order got pushed, there was a big sort of like 3-4 month content drought. So I was logging in and playing Destiny a little bit, but not a whole lot. But I actually gave Marathon a try, I will bullet point Marathon as it. I think it's a great game. I think it's a great Bungie shooter. I'm not much of a PvP guy, and that game is primarily PvP. So while it's a great Bungie game, art, music, everything about it, it's just not for me. I'm not the audience for it. So
that's the most reasonable response I've heard from a Destiny player on that game. Like you're not just like, the hell with this, just flip the table, you're just up in arms about it. Like it's a very reasonable response to that.
I try to be reasonable.
That's
Try.
good. That's good. Yes.
I would have to say when I was in that same position when with another game that Epic had killed, I was not reasonable. When Fortnite ended up killing and I can't remember the name of that game now. That's terrible.
That's all you. It's not me. So
Yeah. They replaced it with there's some fan versions of the game called Predecessor, I believe, and I cannot remember the original name of the game. Epic had just kind of given up development. They released their assets into the wild, said do what you want, and they moved everybody over to Fortnite. And I was like, no. But yeah.
Well, I thought you were going to mention like the original version of Fortnite, not like the King of the Hill, but like Fortnite was originally a PvE like base
Tower
builder
defense
defense
sort of
reason, tower defense thing. And then when the Battle Royale version is released, that's when it took off. And they were like, oh, this Battle Royale thing's really kind of taking off. And they put all their resources and effort into that.
That's exactly when they killed that other game that I cannot remember that I'll remember randomly.
Was it Paladins or something like that? Started with a P, right?
Started with a P. It's going to come up
like
to me randomly during the.
I'm
But
gonna
that's
go
exactly what
that way.
happened. It was the first, Fortnite, and then it transferred over.
Was it a hero shooter of some kind?
It was a MOBA. It was a third-person MOBA.
Didn't we know a few people that did mocap for it's like Paragon or Paragon?
Yes,
or
Paragon.
Like
Paragon. Okay, we got
exactly
there.
what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they do that out there?
I'm trying to think if what is her name? Sabrina and I know each other through the stage combat community, which is huge. And I remember at a couple of the workshops, I can't remember her name for the life of me, one of the really petite gals. But she had like a jacket for Paragons. And I asked her about it at the workshop, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I did some of the mocap for it." And I was like, "Oh, cool."
That's awesome.
But
that is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exactly what happened to it. Fortnite was doing the tower defense. Then they switched over to Battle Royale, and I was like, "Oh man, people actually like this." So moved everybody off. Killed Power.
Well, I mean, they were just riding PUBG's coattails. PUBG was doing it first. That's all that was. I tried PUBG exactly twice, and I tried Fortnite exactly once, and I'm like, yeah, this ain't for me.
I didn't like PUBG. At all.
My old podcast convinced me to buy it because it was still like a thing you had to purchase.
Yeah, it was like $40.
And they're like, "Oh, it's so cool! You got to get on." I'm like, "All right," and I bought it.
I got a single chicken dinner, and that was it.
I didn't even get that. I don't even think I got a single kill. Those are not my sort of games. So like, when I get talked into something like that, I'm just like, "Why did I do this? This is not a thing I play." It's like, what is wrong with me?
I did my whole PvP thing back in my younger years on like the Counter-Strike beta, like the first version of the first Counter-Strike I played was like the 0.4 beta, and like the OG Counter-Strike and like Quake and Doom 2 and that stuff. So
you'd fit in here, yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, I haven't been doing the whole PvP thing for quite a long time because I just don't have the reflexes for it anymore.
No, that's I didn't have the reflexes for it at the time.
Banner.
I don't know, man. If we got a Halo LAN party going, I might still be down for that. Like that's not the best at it, but that's still a lot of fun. Like a Halo 1 LAN party, even Halo 2, I'd be all right with that. So
even Halo,
even Halo 2, you get too much in the weeds. Once the gravity hammer starts popping its head, it's just like the cheapness factor just goes through the roof, and I'm just like, I'm done. So, Dwight, what have you been playing this week? Anything new and exciting, or just your normal old stuff?
Funnily enough, I guess I'll get back to that. I started playing. I booted up Destiny 2 again.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah. So I figured because I had played it for I did play the original Destiny beta as well, which is funny. It was back when Peter Dinklage was still there, and I remember thinking at the time,
Dinklebot.
And I remember thinking at the time, it was like, he's great. So I was listening to him. I was like, what? Did they direct him to kind of just like sleepwalk through that? Like, I don't know. But then it was really good. I think it was still at the time when people are surprised that they're doing that instead of like a another hit. Well, they had already left Microsoft Studios and all that, but it was still like a new thing, at that time. And I did jump into Destiny 2 for a little bit, but I never really it never really got my hooks in at the time. But but yeah, I mean, it was great trying to get back in there. I think there was some sort of reset at some point because when I went back into Destiny 2, my characters were there, but they all were back at like ground zero. I had to like start the campaign over, and it started me at the beginning of Destiny 1's campaign, which is interesting, which I wasn't really aware of because I think the Destiny 2 campaign was different. It started somewhere else, so I was kind of like lost, like completely lost. But yeah, I mean, it was interesting.
I was
I
going to
tried to,
play it too, by the way, and I attempted to install it, and I was like, "How
yeah,
many gigs is this?" Nah,
yeah, it's
bro.
a lot.
Get big.
I
Pass.
streamed it. I
Yeah.
didn't download it. I just played off a GFN game GeForce Now instead of
Okay, well, I guess that would have made sense. Okay.
yeah. I
I
did
was
try
going to
the
say,
Echoes of Minecraft demo. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I could spend the next 15 minutes explaining to you exactly what happened and why. But you know
Why?
what? I
Yeah,
figure we're going to get into that in a bit.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we'll just save it till
absolutely.
then.
Yeah. As like an answer to a lot of these questions, like yes.
That would help me out. I mean, I played for a little bit. I was wondering. I was like, man, this is kind of interesting. Kind of, not. I can't really remember a lot of the stuff that's going on, and a lot of it looks new. And then there's like a group of people that randomly came by, helped me shoot some stuff, and they was like, "Oh man, you should join our group or whatever." And I was like, I wasn't trying to get that deep. No, I'm just gonna back out."
Nah.
But I mean, yeah, there's still a lot of good stuff happening there. So I did try a demo for Echoes of Aincrad.
Oh, how is that? I thought about trying that demo too.
Um,
I don't know if it looks great or awful. Like it just like it kind of is like I don't.
I mean, it's sword art, so I mean, there's
That
that.
doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't.
As a sword art thing, which I don't care about the sword artness of it. The
So,
game itself looks interesting.
so, I have played a lot of the previous ones. This is probably better playing than most of the previous sword art games.
Okay.
And that doesn't really mean a whole lot.
Well, that
So
last one was good, right? The
the last one was good. And this is definitely
I'm
a step
trying to
above
remember the
that.
name. I don't even know. Yeah.
Graphics wise, just like animation wise, general production values, it's great. It looks good and everything. The world is kind of empty. There's not really a whole lot. You're just kind of running around a lot. The combat is okay. I mean, it's not bad at all, but it's just the way that it's being presented makes it seem like it's like, oh my gosh, this is the final frontier of sword art and everything. Finally, we're gonna get the feel of iCrad and everything, and I mean, it's okay. I don't think it. We'll just have to see what happens once it actually
High
releases.
praise. Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna rent it. But then I saw there was a demo. I'm like, oh, good. I don't have to
play
waste
that.
the gameplay.
It's the entire
Like,
prologue.
yeah, I'll just do that instead.
It's a really long demo. The entire prologue is in that demo. But
so what you're saying is I'm not gonna finish it. Cool. All right.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Add that
I
to
did
the
try
list
out
of ones you
Borderlands.
don't finish.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Just throw on that list. The Borderlands 4. I tried that. It was on sale, so I bought it, and I realized that they had like a whole cloud save system they have in there now. I beat the game before it did any of that, so I was like, all right, well, I'll just load it up on PC and get all that synced up. Of course, I was stupid and I started on PC first, and so I had to kind of run around and try to fix all that. But there's been a lot of changes in Borderlands 4 since the last time I stepped in there. It's like new characters and all sorts of new stuff. I mean, if you haven't really, I've never been like super huge into Borderlands, but I always enjoyed those games. I played every single one of them. So it's definitely worth a try now that it's on sale if you're kind of like on the fence before. And I know a lot of people that love the earlier ones, but couldn't really get into 3. So definitely worth a try.
That's the problem my friends and I ran into. I've got a hilariously a group that turned into my Dungeons and Dragons group for a while, but it started when Borderlands 2 came out. Me and three other my friends got together to play Borderlands 2 in a LAN. And once we finished Borderlands 2, then we just kind of kept going. And when 3 came out, we tried playing 3. I think we played 2. We played for 2 nights, and we were all just kind of like, "This is not good."
Yeah.
This was before the first tuning pass hit, because it was like normal red bar enemies, like the lowliest of the grunts were taking like 2 full clips of ammo to put down, because the HP scaling with a 4-player game was just so out of whack. And we just kind of looked at each other with like, is anybody having fun with this?
Yeah.
No? Okay, cool. We're done.
Yeah, it's not it. I agree like wholeheartedly, because I got Borderlands 3 I think a couple months after it came out, and I started playing it, and I just couldn't get into it. I was like, yeah, this is not for me. And I didn't pick it back up till years later. I think I finally like picked it up and played through it like last year or something like
You
that.
talked about it on our last season of the show. That's when you
Yeah.
had finished it. So
I actually went through, and it's funny because I mean, by then they've done all the updates and everything, and I played through. I was like, oh man, this is great. I don't remember why I didn't, why I stopped playing it before, but I'm sure it's because it was before all the good updates hit. But yeah, I mean, it's worth it. I mean, the story is still, there's a lot of people that have issues with the story, but the gameplay is still good. It's worth something. So.
It's worth something. I don't know what.
if you enjoy multiplayer shooters, yeah, definitely worth a try. But yeah,
I still need to get on there with you and Duffer and play. What did you have me have? Play the pre-sequel?
Pre-sequel is my favorite Borderlands, which doesn't really jive with. I think
Really?
actually loves Borderlands. Yeah, it is absolutely my favorite one. And yeah, no, I don't think anybody else agrees.
Fascinating.
With me.
Okay.
Oh, so you're making me play the terrible one, is what you're saying?
No, I love it, but I mean, Final Fantasy 12 is also my favorite Final Fantasy. I mean, I don't think anybody's really.
That explains everything.
So that's
you can tell a lot about a person by which Final Fantasy.
Which Final Fantasy is my favorite. Yeah, that one is absolutely my favorite, and I feel like time has justified my fandom of that game, but I mean, I think most people that they wouldn't really pick that one as their favorite, but yeah.
Oh, all right. I have to know now, since you reacted so strongly to that. What is your favorite Final Fantasy, Chris? I just have to know.
Okay.
I don't need a spiel. I need a number.
So it's 8. Final Fantasy 8 is my favorite.
Right, get out of here.
Okay.
I love 8 too.
Yeah, it's a lot of it has to deal with the fact that Final Fantasy 8 came out. The main character of the game is a like emo 17-year-old high school kid, and at the time it came out, I was an emo 17-year-old high school kid. So I like very hardcore identified with Squall on a lot of levels. Which
game was made for me.
Exactly.
Oh god.
So,
I also loved 8, but it was more so, and it's funny because when I originally played 7 and 8, I didn't really I liked 7, but I wasn't enamored with it. At the time, because I mean, I thought of some of the systems were confusing, and like the story was kind of confusing. I played this when I was super young or whatever. And so by the time 8 came out, I think it was maybe like 8th grade or something like that. I was much more invested in 8, and it was just that one was the Final Fantasy that really got me into Final Fantasies.
Okay.
Yeah, for a lot of people it was like 6, or 7, of course, but no, it was 8 for me. That was the one where I was like, oh man, this shit is great. But yeah,
7 is just like the most milquetoast answer you can give to that question. So I'm glad you didn't say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like
I'm
if
gonna
someone
say
asks you your favorite Star Wars, you immediately say Empire Strikes Back with like.
Yeah, I
little
mean,
thought.
it is the best one, but you
Yeah,
know, and it's seven does have its merits, but you know, I do feel like it's just it's the easy answer.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
I
You
have
get-
whole rants about why I don't like 7, but that's for another day.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
maybe if we
I
have
Wrong
a
episode.
specific reasoning too.
yeah, we'll have a Final Fantasy episode. Oh my god, we'll have to get that
Get AJ on that one.
14-hour episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need more Dragon Quest people. F this Final Fantasy stuff. We need Dragon Quest people, not Final
Last-
Fantasy people.
Last Dragon Quest game I played was 2, so
Oh well, yeah, you got a few to go because we're almost on 12.
He's got another
Wow.
decade before that comes out.
Yeah, no, it's like half a decade or so, whatever. Cool. I haven't really been playing a lot this week. Not more than I talked to last week. I played some more Okami, as I mentioned to them earlier. I got the new Assassin's Creed remastered or whatever. I want to play that, and I will later. That's gonna be super dated statement by the time the show comes out, but that's fine. So we won't really get too much into that. But we're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we're gonna be talking with these guys and gals. Guy and gal, whatever, about Destiny 2, and since it's kind of dead at this point, not really dead. They're chipping away at the gravestone. Anyway, so yeah, we'll be right back. See you then. All right, and we're back. Abrupt, I know. This is what we do around here. We're abrupt and unscheduled and undisciplined. This is how we live our lives. The thing is, I can't find the thing I was gonna ask you guys about. I just had it pulled up and I lost it already. Great organization. Key. Today's episode, if it wasn't apparent, I think I said at the beginning of the episode, we're gonna be talking about Destiny 2. That's why I got these fine people on here. Talk about Destiny because they have a lot of time in Destiny 2. I know Sabreena, whenever I see her online, I'm like, oh, there she goes again on Destiny. What about
Always
it?
on Destiny.
Always. Well, you have like diversions, I've noticed. Like your Baldur's Gate stuff earlier, and then when Dragon Age was a thing, you were really into
Oh my
Dragon
God.
Age.
Dragon
oh
Age is
Lord.
such a good game.
It is.
We don't need to talk about that one right now. But
That was my
but
game
yeah.
of the year or whatever that year. So yeah, I have a bunch of like questions for you guys about just like what Destiny like, because it is kind of like we've had our last update. They've said this. There's no more Destiny. You're done. Done didified. I'm sure they've done some stuff, which I probably should have researched. Is all the content available at this point? Is it free to everybody? Is there like a how's this work exactly? Like,
So they did put out a collection, at least on Steam. They did. I'm pretty sure they have the same on the Xbox and PlayStation stores, where you get access to all of the expansions and everything that's in the game that is currently in the live environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's for like 20. It's either 20 or 30 bucks, I believe, and you get everything.
oh,
So
okay, that's not a bad deal. I'm sure as much content is in there.
Yeah.
So I worded my statement.
Each of the different expansions can also be a smaller amount if you have some of it but not all of it, kind of thing.
Oh, okay. So if I have like I have the Destiny 2 disc, and I know it's a free to play game at this point, could I
Yes.
just like buy the stuff tack piecemeal on there? I guess if I wanted to. I'm not
Yeah.
going
Oh, yeah.
to. I'm just saying if I wanted to.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Not my sort of game. Fun story about Destiny 2 before we get too into the weeds. I don't know if you remember this, Sabreena, because I actually bought it at the store you and I worked at. I bought the game on disc when it came out, and I got it home, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play this game, I'm gonna see what the hype's about. And I open it, and I had like, I don't know if somebody like bought the game and made like a fake copy of it and like resealed it.
I remember you told me that. Yeah.
And I was like, what? Because I looked at the back and it looked like it was like clearly like a CDR that someone just screened, I was like, what is this? This is not you can tell like there's that Blu-ray disc feel. I'm like, this ain't a Blu-ray disc. It's definitely no Blu-ray disc. So thankfully it was at the place I worked at, so it wasn't super hard to convince them that it's like, look, this isn't me. Like, because the game was still $60 at the time, or however much it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
So I was just like,
Mhm.
I need to
Yeah,
switch this
69,
out
yeah.
because, yeah. So, yeah, that's the most exciting Destiny thing I have to say. As far, so I guess that's personal experience.
Soured
No,
everything from there on out, right?
yeah, I'm just like I'm done.
Never again.
I bought Pokemon Black back in the day, and it didn't even have a cartridge in there, and that wasn't at a place I worked at. So I had a real fun time convincing him I just didn't steal the game. So yeah, Dwight has a little bit of Destiny experience. Like I say, you guys have a whole lot, but I guess I'll start off with some of the positive aspects of Destiny. What makes Destiny 2 different from other shooters you've played that have kept you on it like so long? I guess you can just free for all here on that one.
Yeah.
I think one of the big things for me is I forget when they finally gave up the ghost and leaned into it, but like for a long time Bungie was trying to avoid calling Destiny or an MMO. They were like, it's a looter shooter, it's this, it's that. But at some point they finally gave up and were like, guys, it's a first person shooter MMO. And in that vein, the depth of the player mechanics that they have is so incredible. The customizations and the builds that you have for your character, because at this point in the game there are, if you count prismatic, which is an amalgamation of the other 5 elements, there are 6 different subclasses that you can pick from your character, and inside each of those subclasses there are multiple other options that you can select to customize how your character plays and feels, and there is this huge depth of customization to it that I think is one of the best things about it. Coupled on top of that with, all I have to say is it's a Bungie shooter. If you've played Halo Combat Evolved all, through the first 5 Halo games through Reach, and that's your only experience with a Bungie shooter, you know what I'm talking. It's a Bungie shooter. It feels amazing as far as the first person shooter aspect goes.
Mhm. Yeah, when it comes to builds, because that's probably one of my favorite things to do in this game, is that not only are you picking your subclass and the aspects and fragments that go along with it, which we could probably explain, but every person also has the opportunity to also change their jumps. Like, a lot of people use the same typical jumps, but you can change how you jump if you wish. Like,
Does that make a
just
difference
depends.
other than aesthetically?
No,
Not
yeah,
really.
very much so.
Some of them do.
Okay.
Like for Titan, for instance, there is a difference in, like, say, a strafe jump versus a high jump. But yeah, so like, and not only do you have these subclasses, but you have the different armor pieces to go along with it. And different ways to use the armor pieces that maybe the devs didn't come up with, that I absolutely love the fact that the players are like, hey, did you guys realize that this actually works with this? Which is really fun to watch, because they're like, this shouldn't happen.
The
But it's
min-max
always fun to
element.
find that. And that was when we were playing like every day for, what was it, like 2 or 3 months at one point.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were just playing every single day. I was trying to find those bugs because that was fun. Finding the bugs first was fun.
I think I'm
There
starting to
were-
pick up on Sabrina's play. The more customization options, the more she's going to enjoy
Oh my
it.
god, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and on top of all the customizations and everything, then there is the fashion, because
The
you
fashion
can
is the
change
best part.
you can change your armor pieces to look like any other armor piece that you've collected in the game, and then they also have hundreds of shaders which allows you to like change the color palette of the armor. So Sabrina we will be getting ready to do a
Yep.
raid or run a dungeon, and Sabrina will be like, "Hold on, guys, wait a second.
I gotta
And then,
change my shoes.
Hold on, I
well,
got a
no,
fashion. Hold on.
well, yeah. Well, sometimes she won't even say, "I got a fashion." She'll just say, "Hold on, I need a couple of minutes," and then 10 minutes later, I'll be like, "Are you ready to go?" And she's like, "Okay, yep, my fashion's done. We can run the dungeon." And I'm like, "We were waiting for you to do fashion?"
I judge people on their builds by how the builds look in their fashion.
She's not wrong.
It's like, well, you died a lot, but you look good doing it. So
Yes, 100%. 100%.
I
Oh.
can't say anything. I'm absolutely a sucker for wearing a weaker piece of armor that looks better, just because it looks better. Even if it's Crimson Desert, when we were playing that, I had a real hard time. It's like the helmets look real dumb, but it's like, well, I gotta wear it, I guess. So
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the new things that they have recently done that is plaguing me, but I also absolutely love it, is the fact that you have sets now. Where if you have 2 or 4 pieces of an entire set that you are wearing, it will benefit you somehow. Um, Finding all of that is like the OCD that my brain wants to do, and I don't have enough vault space for it.
Oh, as if there weren't enough freaking pieces of armor to chase in this game as is.
Yeah.
Just from a pure stats perspective. Then they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna start adding set bonuses," and it's like, "Oh great!" So I mathed it out. If before set bonuses come into picture, there are 3 classes in the game. If you were to get every possible permutation of the armor of armor for your character from a stat perspective, there are 1,440 pieces of armor that you would need to collect, just purely from a stat perspective. That's before you start throwing in set bonuses. Yeah,
And only 1,300 slots in a vault. Not enough.
you might have to sacrifice a few. All right. So
No.
I think I answered my own question. Then why do people spend thousands of hours playing it?
Yeah.
Well, I will say one other thing about why they spend thousands of hours, and maybe this is just for me, but the story and that they have for this game is just infectious. Again, following the line of Halo, where yeah, if you just play the Halo game, there's a story there, and it's enough to hold a first-person shooter together. There is a whole ass universe out there. Like there is a content creator. My name is Bife. He all yeah, no, it's nice. He has made an entire YouTube career about being the Destiny community's lore daddy. Leading up into the release of the expansion, The Final Shape, he was like, okay, I'm going to do a gigantic lore dump of the entire known story of the Destiny universe that we have. The video is 10 hours long.
There's so much to this.
Yes.
And
this is yeah.
Yeah,
So is it like
it's given in pieces. So like as you play, the more you search for all this stuff, the more you get. And some of the information, like I have the Destiny Grimoire books. Some of them, some of the information comes from that. Like they have it not necessarily in game, but outside the game too.
the Kingdom Hearts of shooters? Great.
Well, a little bit.
So Dwight and I have had this discussion about like the Halo story and how like the first one's as basic as it can get. Like it's the aliens, you shoot them, you win. And then once the game like kind of took off, that's when like let's bring in all these other things and like let's like you could definitely tell it was a story that wasn't meant to be a thing, and then they tried to make it into a thing. So do you think Destiny's kind of like the product of that, where they're like, all right, we already know this is going to be a thing, so let's start with making a very lore rich world right off the rip, So at least that's
I
my
think
perception of it.
I think part of the builds for this was that how do you make a such a rich world in when you know the players are going to constantly die. And that's where the ghost comes in because you're guardians and it revives you all the time. Like you die, but you don't die. You know what I mean? And I
And-
think that's what really helped on that.
Well, and what's funny is for a while, at least after the release of the first Destiny, there was questions from the community about, okay, is our Guardian dying and constantly resurrecting like a canon thing to the universe, or is that just, a clever game mechanic, a clever way that they've, covered this, this necessary game mechanic. But then I can't remember if it was in Taken King or Rise of Iron, which were the expansions for the first Destiny, that that one of the NPC characters made a reference to, I died and I got revived. And so like Guardians dying and getting revived by their ghosts is not just like a clever game mechanic thing. It's like a thing about Guardians in this universe.
Yeah. Yeah, like the guardians that you actually see, the NPC guardians in this world, actively just go out and do some crazy shit because they know they can come back. Which is what we
That's
do.
a
Like that's
good way
what
to
we
think
do
of
as
it.
players. We are doing these crazy things that nobody would do normally because that would end them. But
I didn't realize there was
we
an
keep coming back.
in-universe
Oh
explanation
yeah.
for all that.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think we just have understood this is a video game, and if you die, we're not. We're just gonna put you back.
No.
Like, you actually explained it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the even weirder part is like, okay, if this isn't just a we can resurrect because we're the player character, but this is a thing for Guardians, how are any of the NPCs that are Guardians going to die? Like, how do you create stakes for those characters from a storytelling perspective? Spoilers, they answered that at the beginning of Forsaken,
Yep.
which is the
They
first
did.
expansion for Destiny 2.
Okay. I would love that you are explaining which expansions are from where, because I would be asking those questions, and you're like 2 steps ahead.
We
I
got
definitely
we got
appreciate
you.
that. Yeah.
It's almost
all
like
I
I'm used to
know
having
is
these conversations with non-Destiny players.
I know the final shape is not the final thing, despite having
Correct.
the final in the title. That's all I know.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. It
I could get into
should
that,
have been.
but let's keep going.
Should have
Yeah,
been.
let's keep
Okay.
going. Well, I mean that's kind of like the base that covers all the base like positive
Mhm,
questions I think I have. I'm gonna jump into some negative aspects of it.
mhm.
What do you think Destiny's biggest mistake as a whole is, and why do you think it's ending? I guess we'll just kind of loop both of those together. If you
Mine's
guys
my
have
answer.
You go
anything.
first on that one.
Okay. So I want to start off by to your listeners. I am not a game dev. I am not a game developer. I have some friends who
Oh,
are game devs, but but
Hmm.
I'm prefacing this for a reason. I think Bungie's biggest mistake with Destiny was sticking with the Tiger engine for the actual thing that the game is written and runs in. If you don't know what the Tiger engine is, the Tiger engine was a fork of the engine that Bungie used. It was that they wrote most of the Halo, all of the Halo games in, which was called Blam, BLAM exclamation point.
Yeah, I remember that.
In fact, the first like early versions of the original Destiny were done in the Halo Reach engine. After Reach, Bungie spun off on its own, left Microsoft Studios. So they kept it and they updated it and they called it Tiger. The problem, and where I'm going with all of this about why this was the biggest mistake, is that the Tiger engine is this has been said by multiple devs in interviews and behind the scenes people. It is their own in-house bespoke engine. Bungie wrote it. Nobody else but Bungie uses this. So when they bring a resource in to work on this game, if they've never worked with the Tiger engine before,
They gotta
they've
learn the
got to
engine.
learn how to do it.
Mm.
And on top of that, for again, this is, I'm basing this off of what I've heard and read in interviews, is that it is, in a lot of ways, an incredibly finicky and difficult to work with game engine. So where that ties into what this is their biggest mistake, and what's causing it, what's ultimately bringing about the game's demise, is it always constantly felt like Bungie couldn't keep up with the demand for content, both in terms of volume and the quality of the content for the game. I mean, they kept pushing expansion deadlines out. I think they pushed as many major expansions as they launched on time. I can't think of that off the top of my head.
I know
So
for sure the last 2.5, 3 years, they pushed every one of them out.
yeah, if I had a nickel for every time that they pushed an expansion that was supposed to release that I was coming down to visit you, Sabrina, so that we could play together,
Yeah, so we can
I'd
play
have two
in the same
nickels.
physical space.
Yeah, so you'd have a couple of nickels probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'd have two nickels. It's kind of weird that I have two nickels for this very specific thing.
Yeah.
So again, and I fully admit, this is a lot of, I'm not a game dev. I am in technology. So, so there is a little bit of adjacency in understanding like the behind the scenes stuff. I feel like I'm going to throw out a really IT technical term. I feel like the Tiger engine over the years accumulated a lot of technical debt that they simply didn't have the resources to pay down, and it hampered their ability to produce content for the game. So that's my really weird, long-winded answer to where it all went wrong.
I think that's a really good point that you brought up, because most other studios, mid to large studios, if they're gonna, support their own or develop and support their own, game engine or technology to run their games, usually they use it on multiple games. It is kind of weird to be using this for essentially just one game. I mean, like two, Destiny 1 and 2, but essentially like one game. When you look at something like even Final Fantasy had, Square Enix had issues with that with Crystal Tools, and they use it on multiple games. And then with Capcom, I think the reason why they've done so well with like the RE engine and the MT framework before that is because everybody in their whole umbrella is using it every single game. So there's a ton of people, and one game will come up with an issue, and then another development team will help them solve it and everything. But if it's just one game, that's kind of, I can see where it could get to a point where it's just like, well, why are we why are we spending the time to develop and maintain this thing, and we're only doing it for this one game? Like, you could, at that level, you might as well just use like Unreal Engine or something. But
I was gonna ask, what does Marathon use? Does Marathon use Unreal, or does it use that same engine?
No, I
know,
think Marathon is also using Tiger. I'd have to look into it. I think it may be using their another slightly Frankenstein version, or further
I could
Frankenstein
probably
version
just
of Tiger
Google this.
engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want the funny thing, as much as I'm dunking on Bungie about this, 343/Halo Studios, as it's now known, they hung on to Blam as well, and it became they made some updates to it, and they call it the Slipstream engine.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I could have sworn they either ditched Slipstream for Halo Infinite, or they're ditching it after for the next Halo game. They're getting rid of Slipstream, and they're going to. I think they announced they're going to Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah,
that's what Campaign Evolved is. Unreal Engine 5.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay,
yeah. They ran into so many issues with it on Halo Infinite, famously, and then especially when they try to bring in outside contractors and everything to work on, and they had to learn this new thing that they've never seen before, and it slowed down the whole process.
Marathon is using Tiger.
It's
Yeah,
still
yeah,
okay.
I
So
do
the
remember
entire
this.
thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's
Yeah,
see
they just-
here. Sabrina, did you have
Mhm.
any like input on that, or you kind of agree, or?
I'm not I don't know all the behind the scenes technical aspects.
I got you.
But honestly, I think the devs should have been able to have a bit more freedom because they
Mm.
were really what was the best parts about the game. And I know capitalist society that we live in, I know it does have to make money, but all of the corporate money stuff that they were trying to do was not working. And
Sounds familiar.
I think that kind
Yeah.
of ruined a lot of it. Yeah, right? Them trying to make more money is really what ruined the love of the game for most of it.
I'm gonna combine two questions together here, just for brevity's sake. What features never lived up to its true potential, and what frustrated players for years that Bungie never got around to fixing?
So for me, it's the two things that never lived up to their potential are two game modes that um Bungie introduced and were initially loved by the community, and then they just basically abandoned and did nothing with them. Gambit and Onslaught.
Oh,
Gam-
yeah.
uh, Ga-
100%.
Gambit is a it's a player, they call it a player versus enemy versus player mode. How the
Yeah.
mode works is you are part of a team of 4. There is another team of 4 over in their own separate instance of the same
Oh,
of the same map.
Exoprimal does this.
Yeah, I was going to say that's. I was
And,
getting
yeah,
those vibes.
and you are completing objectives to try and spawn a boss in your instance and kill the
Okay.
boss.
Mm.
Where the PvP aspect comes in, there are sometimes it's a timing trigger, sometimes it's a progression trigger, but there is things that can happen that will open up a portal that will allow one player from a team to run through the portal, and then they go over into the other team's instance, and then for a short period of time they can
To
sit there
hinder
and
them.
harass the other team to prevent their progress.
Yep.
Throw
Right.
water balloons at him and such. Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
And honestly, with with Lodi and everything with 3, that they could have made that so good story wise, because that us playing that game was part of the story as to why we had a weapon available, right? So yeah. So like I feel like that should have had so much more focus in that storyline, and it
Oh, yeah.
felt like like a side comment.
Yeah, Lodi and 3 are 2 NPCs from that were introduced in the most recent expansion set. That
Mhm.
there's a whole thing, but yeah. The other mode, Onslaught, was something that the community had been clamoring for years, and they finally introduced in a sort of throwaway, I shouldn't say throwaway, but in a delay chunk of free content called Into the Light. Onslaught it's a tower defense mode. It's
Mhm.
you spawn into a map and they put an objective for you to protect, and then they give you what this is one of the reasons where I feel like it was really limited, where it was like, okay, they have pre-placed defenses that you can kind of power up and turn on. So it's not like truly free-form tower defense, but it's okay, you place your defenses. Okay, now you're going to do 3 or 4 waves of enemies coming in trying to destroy the thing that you're protecting, and then just kind of keeps going with that, with some interstitial boss fights that happen. And again, they just kind of threw it in there. It was great. It was really well received, and they did nothing with it.
Yeah.
We did it. Now shut up about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like.
Mm.
They gave us a story reason as to why it was there,
Mhm.
and then it just fell off to the wayside, and it was
Mhm.
like, this could be so good for
Mhm.
story or for just play, but people forget that it's there.
Were they like
Like,
never updated or changed or anything, or
Nope.
nope.
They never
okay.
gave
They
any new maps to it. They never put any new enemies in it. It just
Mm.
was.
Mhm.
Which I think part of the reason it just kind of died off to the wayside is because they changed our entire front display for a
Ugh.
while, and
Mm.
it went from this gorgeous, like,
Mhm.
spatial planetary setup to a 2D wall is basically what it
Yeah,
felt like.
a game
Mm.
menu. Literally. They
Yeah.
called it the portal.
Yeah,
Mm.
and
It was
it
bad.
was just gross.
Mhm.
And part of
Like the
it,
main screen when you start up the game, or
well, once you pull your character in order to
Mhm.
go any location, you had to go through this portal. What it
Mm.
previously was showing the system, right? All the
Mm.
planets that you could go to, the tower, all the different game modes, even
Mm.
if you're doing Vanguard Ops or Gambit or Crucible, the PvP mode.
Mm.
And it would all show up beautifully on this screen in a 3D type setting. Like the planets
Mm.
would actually rotate, you had
Oh, that's
stars
cool.
moving, you had, like, yeah, like it was beautiful, it was gorgeous. It stayed that way for years, and then they decided to put this portal in, and that's what it felt like. It was literally just a sticky note put up on a bulletin board. Like, that's what it looked like. That's what it felt like. That's literally what it felt like. And as someone who works in entertainment,
Mhm.
visualizations like that are huge. And I can almost guarantee you that because that got put in,
Mhm.
you lost quite a few people just for
Oh
that.
yeah.
Mm.
Do you
Because
think that was
That
it made everything harder to find
Mhm.
Yeah.
because you couldn't just go to these locations.
Mm.
Um sure, it had your objectives listed in there, but what if you didn't want to do those objectives that day? You
Mhm.
had to look at them.
Mhm.
Mm.
you're gonna look at
And
this and you're gonna like it.
right,
Yeah.
like,
You lose that,
and
like, "Oh, this is look at that little sparkly thing. I wanna see what that is," or whatever, yeah.
honestly, it looked like we went from a beautiful artist's mural, someone who was proud of what they had made, and then
Mhm.
corporate took it over.
To
Mhm.
Excel spreadsheet.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
it
That's
was that
Agreed.
bad. I mean,
great.
it was so bad that with with this last release, Monuments of Triumph, they got rid of it. They
Yeah.
went back. They went back to the director
Uh-huh.
as the main
Okay.
screen. It was
Yeah.
that bad.
Gotcha. I think that's what I
Uh,
probably saw recently. But
Yep.
Mhm.
just to ask really quick, that PvP VE mode, when
Yeah, Gambit.
PvP.
when did that
Mhm.
come out originally?
Gambit was introduced in Forsaken, which was the first
Yep.
expansion of Destiny 2. Um,
Mm.
they introduced with Forsaken, one of a slew of new NPCs that
Mm.
they introduced was this shady character called the Drifter. Um, he
sounds
he's a
shady.
fun character. He's a fun character. He's
His
a
development was good.
yeah. He's a he is a light bearer, so he has a ghost. He is risen, but he is not a guardian. Guardians are this is where they started making these delineations in the story between what is it to be a guardian and simply being a light bearer. It isn't enough to be considered a guardian. Guardians
Hmm.
are the protectors of the last city on Earth. So, but what it means is there are light bearers out there like the Drifter who are much more morally shady characters and, may be out for themselves. Um, I have to say, it took a long time, but when we finally met Drifter's ghost in the
Oh
last
my god.
expansion that was released, Renegades, his
Renegades?
ghost's name is
So good.
Blue, and Blue is what is it? She's like
Blues from
buff.
Long Island.
Yeah, Blue's from Long Island, and her and Drifter's relationship is they do
The
not like
most
each other.
antagonistic relationship. Like, she will bring him back because that's what she does, but then she'll yell at him for doing something stupid. Like,
Oh. I mean, in an insult that you have to look at the character model of Drifter to really understand how deep a cut this is. But like one of the first insults she hurls at Drifter is, "You look like a line cook." It's and
Yeah.
it's one of those
Okay.
moments where you just sit there and go, I mean, your jaw is already on the floor because Blue just comes in like like a lightning bolt, and you're already in shock of, this is an amazing character. I'm in love, and I will protect this wonderful little ghost, with all the fiber of my being. And oh god, she's got bars.
Yep. Yep.
I was
So
wondering
many
because
questions, but I'm not going down that route.
yeah.
Fine.
Cool. I have some more rapid fire stuff here. You
Fire
guys
away.
can just kind of pop off. Favorite weapon? You guys have a favorite weapon, a go-to that you normally stick with?
There's a lot.
I mean, if you don't,
many.
that's not a problem. Yeah.
No. I can answer this in it's not a specific weapon, but it's a particular archetype of weapons. It is very specific, and I know which gun got me on this archetype. It was a Void SMG called the Funnel Web. But I have like every time I have a 900 RPM SMG equipped on my character, it's just like, I'm home. Like just the gunplay on this gun to me, and how my usual combat flow works. Like those 900 RPM SMGs are just like, give me more, give it to me all the time. I am actively grumpy when I have to take that gun off, one of those guns off as my primary weapon, and have to use something else.
I have to aim.
Actually,
No, I don't wanna...
now that I think about it, I want to look and see what weapon I have that I've gotten the most kills on. Ooh,
I still have
Objectively
my
the favorite.
I still have my first funnel web from because when I was curious about this, when you asked me to be on this podcast, I looked it up. I haven't used this funnel web in probably 2 or 3 years because of in-game reasons, but I've always hung on to it. It has 25,000 kills on it, and I haven't used it in like 3 years. I use this damn thing all the time.
I think I've killed 25,000 enemies in anything, any one game.
Yeah.
Maybe like Vampire Survivors or something, where there's thousands of enemies coming at you at once. Maybe like a Dynasty Warriors, maybe. That's maybe it. Favorite story moment? You guys have one of those?
There are multiple. A lot of them are from Final Shape.
But the favorite?
Favorite. Oh, jeez. I don't know. I mean, how they ended the Final Shape was amazing. Going through that story.
You can talk spoilers on here for me.
Okay.
I'm not going to play it, and I imagine the people listening to this already know.
I mean, if they haven't played it by now, it's been out for like 2 years.
I mean, it's kind of your fault at this point.
But the whole story of the Final Shape was us finding out information about the Guardians who are above us, and leading us. So Zavala and Ikora and all of them, right? Not only that, but we had also just recently lost Lance Reddick, so like listening, that was hard too.
Because they brought in Keith David to replace him.
They brought in Keith David.
Not a bad choice,
right? And that was literally fan requested. Like everyone wanted him to replace him. Like we all said that we wanted Keith David to replace him, and Keith David was like, "I'm 100% in." So then Bungie was like, "Okay, come here." But like we found out all of this like background information on these people that these characters that we had known for years, but didn't know this about. And it was like, that's why the choices you make are the ones you make, right?
Mhm.
And then losing some of the characters.
Mhm.
And part of the story of like the guardians can actually die if
Yep.
they lose their ghost first.
Yep.
So if their ghost, and that's what happens with Cade 6 at the beginning of
Mhm.
Forsaken. His ghost is killed.
Is that Nathan Fillion's
Sundance.
character?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I would say it sounds
Sundance,
familiar. Okay.
right? Sundance is killed because he's killed. She tries to revive him, to bring him back, and then she gets sniped.
Mhm.
She has successfully brought him back,
Yep.
but then that's it. Like, she can't
Yep.
do it again, obviously. She's gone. Zavala, the leader of the Vanguard, loses Tarj,
His ghost.
his ghost. And just leading up to that loss and then
Mhm.
watching that loss happen
Mhm.
is heartbreaking.
Mhm.
And then to continue through that, and then within the story, Zavala then finds out that he doesn't have to end being a guardian
Mhm.
just because he lost his ghost,
Mhm.
right?
Oh.
So he continues to fight with the rest of the guardian against the witness, which leads into the raid that came through that
Mhm.
that expansion.
Mhm.
And then that wasn't the end, though.
Yeah.
There was
That was the bonkers
like
part.
right. Everyone was expecting the raid to be the end of the story, and it wasn't
Mhm.
the end of the story. We had another game called The Excision, and
Mhm.
The Excision was essentially us bombarding the witness, and instead of like a 3-person fire team or a 6-person fire team like a raid, it was a
Mhm.
12-person team that goes
Epic as hell
in.
encounter.
Yeah, it was so good. And you go in and you defeat the witness, and it was huge.
Mhm.
And at the end of it, if you had never played it before, there was a cutscene leading up to it, and then a cutscene after it.
Mhm.
The cutscene after it, please look
Oh
it up on
god.
YouTube. You need to watch it. Our ghost,
Mhm.
our ghost, throughout the entire story, is fracturing.
Mhm.
Oh.
And at the very end of Excision, you funnel all of the power of the Traveler, which is where we get the ghosts from,
Mhm.
through your ghost. That destroys your ghost.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right? So we're like, what what happens? Like,
Yeah,
how are we supposed to continue? Our ghost is dead. We can't.
Yep.
Like, how does this happen?
Mhm.
Cade 6, Nathan Fillion, decides himself
Mhm.
to give his light to our ghost
Mm.
to keep us
Yeah.
going.
Sounds like a real tearjerker if you were there.
Oh, it
for the
was.
It
time.
is
It
so
was.
good. So
Mhm.
good.
Hmm.
It like
Um,
it's and the music in the background, like it's just so wonderful. It
I throw back to way back at the beginning. One of the other things that Bungie has always done right, the music. I mean,
oh,
shout
Mhm.
out to Michael
100%.
Salvatore and that whole crew that worked on all the music throughout
So
Destiny.
good.
The music is so on point.
Every so often we'll get into a raid and we're like, shut up, guys, this is the music. Shut up. Like
Yeah.
Right.
we turn it up. Like it's
Better watch
so
the
good.
cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny you
Um,
mentioned that because like in a lot of co-op games where
Mhm.
there's a cutscene that comes up, a lot of them you
Mhm.
can everyone that's in the party can skip or whatever, and it'll show you like
Mhm.
who's voting to skip or whatever.
Yep.
It would be amazing to play a game where everybody's not rushing to mash the skip button or whatever so they can get to the mission or whatever. So yeah, that's
Right.
pretty cool.
Right. Now
Uh,
with Excision that you can play now, you can choose
mhm,
the narrative mode, which will show you the entire cutscenes, both before
mhm,
and after, if you so choose. Um,
mhm,
it basically throws you immediately into it, and then into the game that they're already
mhm.
putting together a
Yeah.
group for, like as
Hmm.
soon as you're done. So,
Hmm.
like nobody else is waiting on you. You can watch it.
Mhm,
It's
Hmm.
yours.
Yeah, that's pretty clever. More games should
Yeah.
do that. All right.
mhm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Novel. Let's
So
see.
my favorite story moment. Sorry, I'm gonna because I
Oh,
want to get
you
this one
Yeah,
out
get
yeah,
because
it,
it's
get it out there, man.
it is because it's um it's for me it's not the most emotional moment, but it was the moment that had my jaw on the floor the most.
Mm.
Um and that I'll explain it in a second, but for Sabrina, it's the reveal in Witch Queen of where Savathun got the light or how she got it.
Yep.
So
Okay.
so
Yeah. We all had
in
jaws on the floor.
yeah. So in the expansion, the Witch Queen, it is centered around who's one of my personal favorite villain of the whole series, Savathun. Savathun was previously part of this giant collective called the Hive, and um, uh, 40,000 footing it, one of the sort of big thing that ties all the Hive together is they have these worm symbiotes inside of them that they constantly have to be feeding with energy. And through space magic, the overarching story of the season leading up to the release of the Witch Queen was a bargain is struck for reasons, and you help Savathun get rid of her worm symbiont without it killing her. And then she just kind of disappears, at the end of the season. It started the new expansion. In the middle of the first mission of the Witch Queen story, you start running into Hive that have ghosts and are wielding the light. So they are wielding your powers, which is
Yep.
like the F. And then at the end of the first mission, you run into Savathun herself, and she's also got a ghost, and she's also wielding the light. And
Mhm.
so there is this ongoing narrative throughout most of the story of Witch Queen of how did Savathun and her hive brood steal the traveler's light? Fun little detail that we haven't mentioned is whenever a guardian is raised by their ghost for the first time, because in order to in order to be raised by a ghost, you have to be dead first. So that's the other fun thing. All the guardians, all the players, you're space zombies. You are zombies animated by space magic. So process that one for a minute. Um, so so it gets, but it's how did Savathun steal the traveler's light? Um, but when someone is raised by a ghost for the first time, they have complete amnesia. They have no memory of their previous life. You're just kind of there and up, and your ghost is talking to you, and you just kind of go.
Like at the beginning of the game, especially the
Yeah.
first one. Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
So throughout the story of Witch Queen, you're running around the location, like gathering up these things and going into these spaces to view Savathun's memories, like these incredibly important objects. And through you are learning Savathun's story about how she became, how she was born Sathona and became Savathun, the hive god, and all everything that led up to it to be, because you're trying to figure out how the hell do we do this. Savathun, I neglected to mention, is the hive god of trickery and deceit.
She's a Loki.
Yeah, she's a very Loki like character. So what it's so it's turned out that throughout the entirety of the game, she's been watching what you've been doing the whole time, including and especially when you go into the space where you're learning her story, seeing her memories, and all that. Yeah, she's learning about herself the whole time. You literally spend the whole campaign reminding her of who she was, telling
Showing
her
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 own
past life.
backstory.
Yeah.
And then, but and this is the moment that had my jaw on the floor, was the reveal of, you get to the moment of, how did Savathun steal the Traveler's Light? She didn't. When the things happened at the end of the previous season and she teleported away, turns out she was hurt real bad. Like, she had this giant chunk of ice crystal stuck in her stomach, and she went to a cliffside near where the Traveler was on Earth and had a little conversation with the Traveler. And she basically, and she laid out her case, and she's like, I've chased you, I have tried to own you, and I am now submitting myself to you. What the line is something like, wouldn't it be a great trick if you just let me die here? Except the Traveler doesn't.
Nope.
Savathun falls over dead, and then you see a little ghost come over and resurrect her. The whole conceit of, how did the Witch Queen steal the light? The Traveler could never, the Traveler, which has been this sort of silent god thing the whole time, which that's a whole other thing that we can get into, but like, but like, how could the Traveler bless the hive? Who knows? But it did. Like, the Traveler gave the light to the hive, and
and then the realization that we had been crushing ghosts of these hives this entire season. We were the bad guys. Like,
oh yeah, yeah. It's, there's a lot of Savathun's story that I feel like a lot of the conflict between the Guardians and Savathun could have been resolved by them just sitting down and talking and laying all their cards on the table.
Yeah,
but like, nobody could trust each other. So
yeah.
No.
That's like a good what's it called, framework for every good anime villain too.
So
they
yeah,
just
that's
sat
my
in a room
favorite.
and talk to each other.
Yeah, that's my favorite story moment, is the reveal on how Savathun got the light in Witch Queen.
Right. So well, I mean, you're doing a fantastic job of explaining this, because everything you say, I'm just like, who's that? And then you explain it.
It's like we're reading your mind.
You are. It's kind of weird, man. So I guess a couple little quick was, do we have a favorite expansion? Is that like a thing? I know a lot of people like the final shape, but at least that's I talked to a friend of mine that was going to be on this, but he couldn't do it. He said that's his favorite. I asked him earlier. Do you guys have a favorite expansion that there's just like, this one hit better?
I mean, Final Shape was really good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I loved it. I have particular seasons within different ones that I really love, but overall, Final Shape was really good.
Okay.
For me, it was Witch Queen. Forsaken and Final Shape were both really, really, really good, but there was something about the story of Witch Queen, and also just the campaign of Witch Queen. Again, it's not that Forsaken or Final Shape weren't good. I just liked Witch Queen better for some reason.
Okay. I got some closing questions here too. We're gonna probably be wrapping up for too long. Let's see. What is Bungie's legacy after Destiny 2? And what should Destiny 3 look like? I'm just kind of combining these together. What should Destiny 3 look like? And should there even be a Destiny 3? Let's put it that way.
I
know
want
that's a lot.
3.
That's very loaded.
Like, yeah, there's so much. Like, I would love a Destiny 3. I think it should, like, Destiny 2 should have ended at the Final Shape, and then Destiny 3 should have begun after that. But honestly, I do not want a Destiny 3 if Sony has anything to do with it.
That's fair.
Understandable.
Wow.
Understandable.
I'm like Sabrina. I want there to be a Destiny 3. There are so many unanswered questions, so many plot threads. They gave have you unlocked the Sabrina, have you unlocked the conversation with the winnower
Thanks
yet?
for clarifying. Yeah.
I have not, but I have watched it.
Okay. So they
Cheating.
left us on a really huge
Yeah,
huge cliffhanger
did.
with this little denouement. Throughout the entirety of the story of Destiny, there is, the bad guy, there was the darkness, and the darkness is bad. But then, a lot of the
Typically
story is
is, yeah.
peeling. Yeah. But then there's a lot of what is the darkness? What is the nature of the darkness? Who is it? What is it? And so you heard Sabrina mention this character called Witness that we were finally introduced to at the end of the Witch Queen campaign. But the Witness was sort of like the big bad of this gigantic 10-year arc of Destiny's story. And
They're mentioned
throughout
in the too. Yeah.
yeah. It was Season of Arrivals. There was a chunk of lore that was revealed called interestingly Unveiling, where there was this lore dump conversation with an entity that for a very long time a lot of us thought, once the Witness was revealed, it's like, oh, this Unveiling lore book was us having a conversation with the Witness. And in Unveiling, it laid out this story. I forget it was like this game that these two sort of like primordial cosmic entities play over and over again. The Gardener and the Winnower are the two characters. And they did basically the way the story went, or as the story of Destiny progressed, it became pretty darn clear that any references to the Gardener was talking about the Traveler, or the entity that we call the Traveler. And we thought for a good long time that any references to the Winnower was talking about the Witness, especially once the Witness was revealed.
Mm-hmm.
In the raid, in one of the traversal sections, the Witness is just sort of bloviating at you, and at one point it goes, "You call me Winnower. I am not, but the first knife clutched in its fist." And like, it's this throwaway moment that, unless you're really deep in the lore, you're just sort of like, oh, cool, bad guy's talking again. I'm busy being shot at. Leave me alone.
A typical bad guy monologue that you don't really pay attention to, but this is very important.
I heard that for the first time. I literally stopped and went, "I'm sorry, the frick, what?"
Yeah. We're all in the raid and we're going, "Excuse me?" Wait, hold on.
What did he say?
Yeah. So the Witness lays out, "Oh, you think I'm the big bad? You think I'm the big bad guy of the story? No. I'm just a tool that he created, or that it created."
Yeah.
Nothing is really said about the Winnower in Edge of Fate and Renegades, which were the two expansions that came out after Final Shape. Except we got this sort of little throwaway cutscene in a conversation with the Winnower possesses Lodi, who's an NPC we meet in Edge of Fate. And the Winnower has a very, very frank and kind of entertaining conversation with. But it's just sort of you've got to be kidding me. You've told us this is it. Done with development. and you have the winnower come and talk to us? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And so there's all of these plot threads hanging out there, and I so desperately want there to be a
still
Destiny
hanging.
3.
Yeah, that would
They're
be
going to
that.
be hanging.
Yeah, that
Um,
would suck.
Yeah.
I mean, if it is going to happen, it's going to be a while.
I was gonna say it's probably not gonna be anytime soon.
I mean,
No.
just
It's
like
gonna
you
be
mentioned
fine.
earlier,
There
Sabrina,
is
if Sony gets in
one
there,
of
they'll bring in a real money auction house or something like that.
yeah,
I
in
mean,
the
if it's
real world,
bad enough, they might sell them or let them become independent again, or however they want to
I
I
go
doubt
about
it.
it.
yeah.
I mean, it's
In
possible.
sort of a real world, sort of pushing in and ruining the fun of the game. There were a couple of weeks between when Sony/Bungie made the announcement that they're ending active development on Destiny 2, and Monuments of Triumph was going to be released, and this was going to be it. This was the last major update. There was a lot of speculation and hoping by the community that was unfortunately ultimately squashed. We were all hoping that Destiny 3 had secretly been like already greenlit and in development in the background, and
There were talks
they
of like code names and stuff like that it could have
yeah,
been, and possible storylines, and yeah.
yeah, and they came right out and bluntly said no. There
It's
is
like,
there is no
let's go ahead and
there
temper your expectations a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
there have been proposals of ideas, but nothing has been greenlit or is in any kind of active development, which means even if development on a new Destiny game were to begin today,
I mean, you're looking at 5
again,
years easy.
yeah,
You know.
going off of what I've read from developers and stuff, yeah, you're looking at 5-6 years,
Mm.
and it's pretty clear
Mine.
that Sony doesn't have the
Yeah.
appetite to greenlight anything like that.
Hmm.
Those sorts of games are so expensive, and they're such a huge gamble to where
Yeah.
if they don't like pay off, it's just like you just lost an insane
Yeah.
amount
Yeah.
of money. So
What I was going to say is one of the biggest discourses right now that's been happening is the talk about Destiny versus Marathon.
yes,
Mhm.
And just by sheer numbers of people who are playing, and you've got like 30 something thousand or something like that on Marathon, and you've got almost 150,000 plus. I know, right? Well, some of those numbers were only on Steam or something like that, but
Mm.
but yeah, so like why don't you want to continue the game that has so many followers, so many players in it? Not even to mention the fact that how many different apps and websites have been created by fans to work along with the game.
Mm.
Like
Well,
there's 5 different tabs I have open right now, literally just to help me with like my armor and my weapons and stats and everything like that, just to play this game because it's so good.
so where do they primarily get their ongoing revenue from? Because if the game is free now, you still have to pay for the
yeah.
expansions. But besides the expansions, is there anything like a loot box system or anything like that that they're getting
Yeah.
like continuous?
Kind of. They do have an in-game store that they
Mm.
have 2 currencies for. They have Bright Dust, which you accumulate slowly through just kind of playing the game, and in the store they have a rotating menu of cosmetics that you can buy for Bright Dust.
Mm.
But then they also have their premium currency, pardon, which you can buy, which is a real money currency, silver.
Mm.
And with silver, they have a bunch of premium customization packages that,
Hmm.
Mhm.
up until Monuments of Triumph, the most recent content drop,
Mm.
there was a lot of character customization stuff that could only be purchased for silver.
Yeah.
Mm.
It never showed up for Bright Dust.
And they had in that store, they had like crossover stuff, so they
Mhm.
had a full Mass Effect set for a
Mhm.
while. Yeah.
Yep.
You don't say.
That's what I'm saying. They had what were a couple of the other ones that they had?
Multiple Star Wars
they had
armors.
with Renegades and all that stuff too. But
Yep.
they also had a Baldur's Gate set.
Yep.
So
And a D&D set, yeah.
yeah, a full D&D set. They every winter they always have a really fun cool set. They always have a good set for Halloween.
Mhm.
Which are always really, really cool.
Mhm.
And those were definitely something that people always wanted to do, especially when they did
Mhm.
crossover stuff.
Yeah.
They did Halo for 30th anniversary. They did a lot of Halo
Yep.
crossover stuff.
Yep.
So one of the exotic weapons is literally the sidearm that you have and
Yep.
play with Halo. Like
Oh, very nice.
They call it the
Yeah.
Forerunner.
the Forerunner.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's got a fun little function where after you get a kill, you can do a special reload with it, which gives you a Halo style frag grenade that you can throw on the ground. And yeah, it's a frag grenade, but you could also Halo style grenade jump with it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, very nice. I think just from an outsider's perspective of like someone that's not really in the ecosystem already, and just kind of what you guys are talking about, like its legacy and if it's going to continue and stuff like that, and maybe why they like shifted gears. I'm sure Sony's had a lot to do with that decision, but like, what is I gotta wonder like what, and this is just a rhetorical question. I gotta wonder like what their like new players, new acquisitions are looking like. Yes, you have you have a big fan base, but like people do drop off,
A lot
right?
of legacy,
I
Yeah.
feel like the legacy players are gonna be there, but then you have people dropping off, but the people coming in is not equivalent, you know?
Yeah.
So
That's
eventually you're gonna get to a point, and for me, like, right, I'm looking at it and I'm like, there's no way. Like I'm so far behind. There'd be no way unless I just committed like an insane
Well, and they
amount of
also
time.
sunset so much stuff too. So, like, even if you were to come in as a brand new light, as we call it,
Yep.
you're not going to get everything because you can't
Yeah.
get everything,
So
which
like
is
them
really hard.
starting
I did not start from the very beginning.
Yeah.
They sunset stuff, and I still haven't seen it. Like the Red War stuff, I never saw that.
My
Black
favorite
Armory
raid
stuff, I never saw that.
my favorite raid in the game that was in the game was removed in when they did the Beyond Light update, which was the third expansion or second chapter, which was the third expansion when they
And that's
vaulted
just about when I
a bunch
started.
of
I
stuff.
started just before Beyond Light.
Yeah. My favorite raid in the game was removed as a part of that, and they never brought it back. It was one of the couple that they never put back into the game.
But I almost wonder if that's why they started with like, okay, let's start with a new thing. Even though Marathon's not a new thing, I guess this version of Marathon is a new thing. So
Yeah.
it kind of gives people like an opportunity for a good onboarding point. But I don't know. That's I think a fear when it comes to like a Destiny 3. It's like it's almost like
it would have to be a new story.
Yeah.
It would have to be a whole new story. It'd have to be a clean slate.
But
like
even having a 3 at the end of it is like a deterrent for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Dwight knows this, right? Dwight knows I'm a huge Shenmue fan. It's my favorite thing. We really want Shenmue 4. That's such a niche thing. Like, no one's jumping into Shenmue 4. Like, you know, you know, unless you're an existing fan.
There's a lot of franchises that run into this problem at some way, shape, or form. So the money aspect of it, I'm wondering, they'll probably talk about it at some point in the future, whatever. But I'm wondering if there's diminishing returns on how many people who are buying the new expansions. Because of course, you know, legacy players, they're probably going to buy every single one that comes out. But like new people like jumping in, like you were saying, and then like the kind of like continuous revenue from the stuff that was in the shops and everything. Because I'm sure there's going to be a ton of people that just have a bunch of shit that they've already accumulated, and they probably don't need a lot of the stuff that's in the shop.
I just don't think it's a sustainable business model, honestly. That's probably why
that's probably
it got
why.
sunsetted in the first place.
you gotta Disney vault it to like drum up say,
drum
oh
up
man, I
some,
gotta get this thing. Yeah.
and maybe your solution is like not making, and I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you vault it, you got to bring it back at some point.
You got to bring it back, yes, but
vaulting it forever is
you
more
almost wonder if yes,
missing
there's
for
story
it.
beats that have been like untapped, but maybe there's like a book, or maybe there's like a smaller project that's not a huge MMO or something like that to like give closure to those people that really want it. I don't know. I don't have those solutions. I'm not that business guy. I'm just throwing stuff at the wall, see what sticks. I'm sure like the hardcore fans that really want to know what happened, they'd take a book. If it meant let me know what happened. I just wanted to, you know, Final Fantasy 15
I own all the grimoires. Like,
Halo. My favorite story set in the Halo universe has characters, and all of the characters in those books have never been seen in the games. It's the Kilo 9 trilogy.
Okay.
So like
I've only read like one of the Halo books, so yeah.
I remember Fall of Reach was like
Fall of Reach is the one that I think everyone's read.
That's the one
I read. All right, cool. I think that made for a pretty good episode, guys. I appreciate you being on. At the end of our shows, we always say, does anybody have any recommendations? Anything anyone's been doing? I'll leave it up to the guests. You just got to tell the world about, hey, you need to watch this show. Hey, you need to play this game, whatever.
So I've got one for you guys or anybody listening to try out. It was a little bit of a sleeper that came out a couple of years ago. I played through it. I had an amazing time. The name of the game is Tunic. Tunic. Tunic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You've apparently played it. It is an absolutely amazing game. It looks and plays. It's a lot like early 8-bit Legend of Zelda. It's an isometric view, sort of Zelda-esque game, except the game doesn't tell you how to play it.
No,
it's part of the
on a fake language. Yep.
Part of the adventure of the game is literally finding the game's manual hidden throughout the game, and then it tells you how to play the game.
I personally recommend if you can find a physical copy of this game, it has that manual with it. Physical copies are getting a little bit iffy to get, but if you can get one, get it, or at least get the book. Like having the physical book there is great. It's a lot like if you ever played a game in Japanese, like a lot of that is you just have to like figure it out through context, and you're like, oh, that's what that means. That's the like sense of discovery in that game is fantastic. So
it's a wonderful game. So
absolutely
Tunic, highly recommend it. I think it's PC, Xbox, PlayStation.
It's on everything.
It's also available. I think it's available on the Switch as well. So yeah,
it is.
Every platform.
I have a physical on Switch and Xbox actually, and it's on Game Pass. So there you go. You have no excuse.
There you go.
Go play the game. All right. Yeah, great pick. Great pick. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Also, I guess let's go ahead and plug some stuff. Sabreena, if anyone wants to get in touch with you, where would you? What's your socials? I don't know if you want to do this stuff. You ain't got to. It's all optional.
I mean, I'm on Instagram as Amazon_stunts. You can find me there. Dame13 on Destiny. 9840 because they always have to add that number on there. So
I'm MorningstarZero. It's all spelled out. MorningstarZero. All one word. And any social platform, I somehow managed to snake up that moniker on every platform that I've been able to find. And as far as I'm aware, I'm the only person who uses it in that method. So
there's one guy out there that's like, damn it, this guy again. He's always taking my damn name.
Pretty much.
I have seen a MorningstarZero with the number 0.
Number, but not spelled out. 2 words mashed together.
That was a compromise they had to make because of you. All right. And Dwight, where can people find you?
D18719, also on all of the things.
All the things.
All of the things.
All the things.
I might, you know what? I do, after restarting Destiny 2 early this week, I kind of want to play a little bit farther in there and see what's going on.
Jump
I
on with
don't.
us. We'll play with you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
You got
think
some
I don't
people
think
to
I
carry
plan
you
to
for
get to the.
quite a ways, probably. Our
Oh.
other co-host, which isn't on, he's Enchantermon on all the things too. You can check him out. I thought he's been hinting that he's going to start back Twitch again. I don't know if he's gonna, but I'd like for him to do that. We're gonna be available on X and Bluesky, primarily Bluesky at Gameroom Pod. If you're listening on podcast service, cool. This also post on my personal YouTube channel at Micmac Life, and I stream on Twitch at Micmac IRL. Let's see, what do we got? 2 weeks from now, we got our season finale, all quiz episode. Jonathan will be back for that one. We got to get a guest for that one. Anybody feels like some video game trivia, we'll talk after the show. That's what we do for our finales.
The Oops All Quiz.
The Oops All Quiz episode where we try to stump each other, and usually the only one that stumps anybody is Jonathan because he plays some wacky ass shit that nobody's ever heard of. So, yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Right, bye.